One of my students asked me, one of my good students asked me, how do you identify a man with depth? And she sent me this little thing that talking about a man with depth and depth. And it wasn't talking about he had a six pack or he made $150,000 a year. And we many times, people I've coached get so caught up in the wrong shit. And the only reason why they think a six pack and making money, they think those things are going to make them happy when only to get them and find out that they don't. So what I say is, let's find a man with depth. Let me show you what he looks like. Number one, he possesses the ability to hold space for emotions. All right. He possesses he will acknowledge emotions. He's not afraid of his emotions. He will address your emotions. That's a man of depth. Number two, he doesn't collapse or shrink back or become adversarial when you challenge him. You know, he's confident in who he is. You know what? He knows his position and he's flexible to say, you know what? Maybe you have a point there. He's not worried about that. He's secure in who he is. Number three, he can admit when he's wrong. Y'all, I used to have a problem with that. I would fight an argument to the end, knowing that I was wrong, but admitting that I was wrong, and somehow I believed it was diminishing me as a man, as a person. The truth is, it only empowered me. It made me better as a man when I could admit when I'm wrong. I knew I had depth when I went to my wife and I simply said, honey, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Forgive me. All right. And number four, he's willing to stand with you in the fire. Every relationship is going to go through some fires. Every relationship. No one is exempt. And the question is, you know what a person is truly made of, what they are at their core, what their depth is if they're willing to stand with you when times are not good, when there's fire on the horizon. Those are how I know you got a man with depth. It has nothing to do with how much money he makes, you know, how good he looks and how his hair is cut. All of those things matter because they're attractive, but we're all going to fade. All of that's going to fade. But what happens if he loses his job making $200,000 a year? What happens? See, most people get caught up in one thing. They get caught up. They tie their value to what they do. Listen to me. They tie their value to what they do, but instead, I want to tie my value to who I am. Because if I no longer do what I do, I'm still valuable.